This is the Halftime Show with Omar Al-Duri on Pulse 95.
Yes, we are back. Welcome back to the Halftime Show with Omar Al-Duri. I am your host, covering everything sport, international and local. Hope you're having a blessed day wherever you're tuned in around the world, whether it's 95 FM, pulse95radio.com, our app, Sharjah Broadcasting Authority, or even if you're chilling at home watching us live on the YouTube. Hope you're having a great day. I got a treat for you today because I'm telling you what, we've got three lovely ladies here from the AWFL. I'm going to say their names out. Maria Khan, Sarah Jones, Jodie Mortimer, all here in the studio, live in the heart of Sharjah on Pulse 95. You're going to want to ask them questions about development in sport, in football, with women growing in the world of sport. This is the best time to ask them exactly what's happening on the only place to be at 3, the Halftime Show on Pulse 95.
This is the Halftime Show with Omar Al-Duri on Pulse 95.
Sure is that time. It's the Halftime Show with Omar Al-Duri. Wow, what a show we have in store for you today. Can't wait to share with you guys who's on the show today. And also got to give a couple of special shout-outs to all our normal halftimers on the Instagram Live at Omar Al-Duri. We've got Musab, Murad, Anita, Almas, Fahad, MJ, woof, Sam, Spicy, Hassan, God, Ali, who else? Florin, Debo, Terry. I could be here all day, guys. I have a show, man. Okay. Hope you guys are having a great time. And Sam, of course, from London. All right. So, on the show today, the AWFL. Ladies, welcome to the show.
Hi. Great, thank you.
You're going to get a round of applause in the studio as well. It's great to have you guys. Now, we've got Sarah, Jodie, and Maria. Sarah, I'm going to start with you.
Go for it.
Tell me about your background in football.
I love football. I love to watch it, love to play it, love to see different children playing it. But I've played football ever since I can remember. Started off with a school team, which was mixed when I was 7 or 8, then through high school, then through to club level at 14, and then playing women's from the age of 14, playing in the Northern Combination, and then qualified as a PE teacher and did my coaching qualifications and travelled around the world teaching, and then this led me to Dubai and setting up the Arabians Women's Football League.
Amazing. And one of the interesting places you have been to happens to be Korea.
Indeed, yes.
Tell me about that.
Oh, Korea is just amazing, absolutely amazing. Actually it's misleading, I lived on the island called Jeju, which is like a 50-minute journey away from Seoul.
Oh, wow.
So for 2 years stayed there, and took the school that I was with for having 10 girls that played to having 30, 40 girls that played, and we played international football. And it was just a wonderful experience. I absolutely love the Korean people, and obviously the Korean food.
Of course, and we won't be talking about the Korean burgers that someone had the other day. But one thing we will talk about is, and we say this a lot when it comes down to travel as a part of education, it is amazing how much you can learn from travel. And SJ, you are one person that stands for that, and I really, really like that. Moving on to the next culprit here, we've got Jodie Mortimer. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good, thank you. And talking about travel,
yeah,
I've travelled the world, and that's what football does. Every country I've been to, I've watched a football game.
Really? And what's the best football game you've seen?
So I'm an Aston Villa fan, so I'm gonna go for
it's
the
a good time to be a Villa fan right now.
Very good time, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Villa would be your preferred choice of match to watch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The Liverpool game, definitely.
Okay, fantastic. Moving on next to Miss Maria Khan here. Maria, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you. It's been a while.
Just a little bit, a little too long.
Maria, tell me more about, how you three came together to set up the AWFL.
So, I think, as you can tell from our accents, the way we look, we come from completely different parts of the world. But I think that is one of the beautiful things about the game, is that it brings people from different backgrounds, different cultures, different upbringings, different playing abilities, and brings them all together. And that's exactly what happened here. I knew SJ, I think we met probably 2 or 3 seasons ago, maybe 3 seasons. Through football. You had just come over, what part of one of the women's teams. I happened to be playing on the team at that time, and then SJ introduced us to Jodie, and then from there we could hear the passion in each other's voices when we spoke about developing girls football and women's football in the region. And I think from there, it was just kind of that light bulb moment that brought us together, and now we're here.
and this sport, especially when it comes down to football, this sport gives us more than just the scores, the headlines. It teaches us a lot of lessons. What kind of lessons have you three picked up that you're now bringing on to the youth? They're looking at you, Jodie. They're looking at you, Jodie.
For me personally, it's about bringing people together.
Yeah.
You know, it's that social background that you have when you're playing for a team. Mm-hmm. Everyone comes together on and off the pitch, and also brings together the family. Okay, maybe my mom might disagree, but she's there with the oranges on match day, and she's part of it all too. Brilliant. So it's bringing together and teaching the younger girls to really work together as a team.
Yeah. Go on, SJ.
Discipline. I think sport teaches us, discipline. It teaches about hard work, that life sometimes isn't fair when you lose 1-0 or that penalty decision goes away. And I think it teaches so many different children, because I'm a high school teacher, and I can see the discipline that sport teaches the girls and the guys, every single day. And I think it's so important that girls have that access to regular competitions so they experience that discipline.
Absolutely. It's character building as well, and it's something that you three are putting together, and I'm super proud of you three, so I can't wait to share more. Coming up next, we're talking to ladies about how the AWFL builds characters, and also what they've noticed about different personalities in the league, on the only place to be at 3, the Halftime Show on Pulse 95.
This is the Halftime Show with Omar Adori on Pulse 95.
It sure is that time. It's the Halftime Show with Omar Adori. I am your host, covering everything sport, international, local. Right, we've got the AWFL ladies in the building today, talking to us about development in sport, women. And actually, if you are tuning on Instagram Live, you've missed some good chat as well. These girls have been talking a lot of good stuff behind the scenes, which you can catch us on Instagram, or even if you prefer a visual and you want to watch us on YouTube, we're on YouTube live on Pulse 95 Radio. Or if you're just coming into the room now and you're thinking, man, I wish I would have seen this show, you can catch all our shows on the podcast on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Nrami, or even thanks to Gabby and Super Mario at the Pulse 95 team, they have the shows uploaded right away. No pressure, boys. All right, guys. So, ladies, welcome to the show.
Hey.
Thanks.
Don't stop talking now. All right, we've had some questions in for you, ladies. I'm going to ask them great questions, by the way. One of the questions that came in was from our very own Arij, who is the UAE national team football star. And she's asked the question, how do you see the AWFL developing women's football in the UAE in 5 years? Can we see 2 divisions in the league at some point? Ladies, take it away.
Yeah, so I think that was the reason why we all came together, because being fortunate enough, we've had the opportunity to be included within women's football in the UAE, but something that all of us came from, the background that we came from, was 11-a-side football. Mm-hmm. Not sure why 7-a-side is the go-to, setup here, but I think for us, what we really want to see is giving access to younger girls, giving them access to 11-a-side a lot earlier. Whether it's expats, whether it's Emirati girls, again, just giving them that exposure. Because again, you can break the game up into halves or whatever, but at that 11-a-side game, and that pitch size and those goal sizes,
nothing else like it.
Exactly. So I think in the next 5 years, and I think what we want to start almost immediately is once everything gets cleared and things can get back to somewhat normalcy, is putting divisions together that encourage healthy competition, because again, we also don't want to discourage anyone.
Absolutely.
Something that we see often in certain leagues and certain competitions is huge score lines. Especially when young girls are developing, you don't want that, right? You don't want to discourage. You want to be able to give that healthy competition that encourages. So again, having those divisions, having a certain level of competition at the premier level. In 11-a-side.
Yes, absolutely. And you three have put a lot of work behind the scenes. I can definitely say that. Jodie, I want to come to you for a second. Now, with all the great work you've done and to do things the right way, do you feel you have a structure in place to be able to produce, talent from a very young age?
Yeah, I think we do. I think we're definitely creating the foundation of an ecosystem for girls and women to play. The background that we have, whether it's through playing or spectating and being inspired that way, through educating the girls through coaching and teaching, we can really look at bridging the gap between schools, girls football, and elite and girls football that way. So
yeah, professional, excellent. SJ, coming over to you. You've obviously travelled, you played football all around the world. How do you see the AWFL, developing characters and personalities from all the different backgrounds?
It's a really good question. So we already have all of those characters in place, and they are already playing football. So they're playing it in schools, they're playing it in clubs. But what the AWFL really want to do is create that consistency. So that create that consistency of high level competition, and to raise that standard and to raise that bar. Because there's, we all know girls that we've played with. Maria's been here 50 years, Jodie 20 years, me 5 minutes. But we've all been here, and we were just talking about one of our players who's recently gone to a university in England, and she's a fantastic player, an amazing player. And she's gone to the UK and she's trialling out, at Arsenal and Villa and all those different clubs, but she's never played 11-a-side football, or she's played like the odd game that we've organised within this context, but she's going in at a huge disadvantage compared to other girls, and we want to take away that barrier and get that 11-a-side going as soon as January, as soon as COVID gets out the way and creates that normality within football and sport again.
How has that been for you three, just really sticking to the rules, really doing things the proper way under the unprecedented times that we're in? How has that been as an experience as organisers?
We're looking at our operations and logistics guru. This is all kudos to her.
Tell me, Jodie.
Well, falling asleep, picturing all of the logistics. It's solving a lot of problems. But the main concern for us was actually the players and making sure that they feel safe going to the games. As PE teachers, at schools, we're obviously used to the logistics to be able to encourage sport there. So being able to bring that together at the right market, we were able to look at it, and we've got a good system. We have a good system there.
Amazing. Okay, guys, I need more of this, so I'm going to play a little song for you guys, and we'll be back right after the break, because I got a couple of questions coming in and talking about physicality when it comes to women's sport. I can't wait to share that with you guys on the only place to be at 3, the Halftime Show on Pulse 95.
This is the Halftime Show with Omar Adori on Pulse 95.
We are back. Welcome back to the Halftime Show. We have the AWFL ladies in the place with me here chilling, talking football and all sorts of stuff in sports, and I'm so happy that that they're here with me today. We had some good chat on Instagram Live, and if you're tuned in on the YouTube, you can see us here live on Pulse 95 Radio. Ladies, Jodie, I'm going to start with you. Tell me more about the vision of the AWFL.
I think in the future what we want to be able to do is we want to be able to be that centralised area where the girls come and we can come together at different strands. So for example, yes, we have the league, and yes, we are getting those girls playing, which is brilliant. But another strand of that is we want to be able to create this ecosystem where we've got the coaches. The coaches, we've got the referees, they are also the women playing. So we kind of see it as a bit of an association, that we've got these strands. It's social strands, we have social play. Community.
Speaking of social, can I give a special shout out to Tony, who's watching? Can I do that?
Yeah.
Okay, right. Back to you two, SJ and Maria. Have you ever played against each other?
Yeah, once or twice, definitely.
You hear that nervous laugh when I said that. Go ahead.
The last time it was it us 1-0?
Was it? No, I think we drew.
We drew?
I think we drew.
Okay,
and then the league got cancelled because of COVID.
You can feel,
we were fighting for the top spot.
You can feel the fire in the room when I asked that
I'm
question.
in the middle of them, you know. This sums it up. I'll be the ref. Be like, hang on, guys.
We did that on purpose. We kept you there just to keep them apart from each other.
We've been teammates. We've been teammates, and we've been competitors. As well.
What's the experience like of playing against each other?
So if you're playing against Maria, you better make sure that your jersey's tucked in, because she will pull that right off your back. If you go past her, she'll pull it. If you're thinking about her, she'll pull it.
Well, SJ's got a bony elbow. Don't get caught by her elbow.
No, definitely not. I'm trying to get you off my shirt.
There you go.
And now when you're actually organising it, how has the competition been so far in the AWFL, having just kicked off?
Man.
The standard is amazing. I mean, I'm talking from a grassroots level. I do under 9s to under 12s. So to actually come along and watch the women play, it's phenomenal.
Question from Arij: is there any unspoken rivalries in the league?
Definitely. And I'd say not unspoken, I'd say very much spoken.
That's what's awesome about it, right? It's because there is
healthy
history here. It's healthy competition. You know, these women and even some of the girls, they've grown up together.
Yeah.
You know, especially, being here 8 years, there's some girls that have been here since I joined. You know, so we have all grown together. So yeah, definitely some rivalries for sure.
Absolutely.
Last question for you ladies before we take a quick break. Favorite football manager or player, or both?
It's got to be Brazola, the Leeds manager at the moment. I think he's just, any Leeds fan thinks he's a god or a granddad. You know, he's part of the family, and what he's done with Leeds over the last couple of years has been absolutely amazing.
Absolutely. Jodie?
And you've been a loyal Leeds fan.
Loyal, not just Steve. They're 16 years down. Loyal Leeds fan, definitely.
Brilliant.
I like James Milner. I like him as a player.
That's a very interesting choice.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like him as a player. I like
Leeds
him as
player,
a person.
ex-Leeds player.
Yeah, ex-Villa.
He's probably the ultimate professional as well.
Exactly.
I think every coach would like to have a James Milner.
You know, he could have been like a squash, like professional squash, golf. You know,
any athlete.
Yeah. And as a PE teacher, that's what we encourage. You know, we encourage you to participate in all the sports and then specialise. So
Brilliant.
James Milner really stands for what I teach.
Brilliant. Go ahead, Maria.
Are you? I don't know if you're going to want to hear this.
Maria, I only have 50 seconds though, yeah? So.
Okay, 50
can't say
seconds. So this is so one thing I do appreciate about like the All or Nothings, the documentaries, is it allows you to get a different side of teams, players, and coaches. And I won't say my favorite, but one coach I was surprised by was Mourinho.
Yeah.
Surprised by him.
Okay.
In the All or Nothing documentary with Tottenham, the way he came in, how he treats the players, what he expects of the players, it's nothing what I have seen in his post-game interviews, on the sideline, his friction with other coaches. I was pleasantly surprised. Not saying I'm a fan, but surprised.
Careful now.
Exactly, yeah, I need to tread carefully.
I must say it's the best I have played in terms of the AWFL.
Wow.
One of the players in the league.
One of the players in the league. She's 13 and she's a superstar. We've had her on the show as well. And she said La Liga and GoPro is a very good, interesting, rivalry that has been building up for this season, which is great. Okay, guys, coming up next, it's your chance to ask more questions to the ladies and also get to know where you can find them online, on social media, and what's happening in the latest social media features on AWFL. Stay tuned for more on the only place to be at 3, the Halftime Show on Pulse 95.
This is the Halftime Show with Omar Adori on Pulse 95.
It sure is that time. It's the Halftime Show with Omar Aduri. I'm your host, covering everything sport, international, and local. We got some wicked questions coming in. I got to give a special shout as well to one of my old footballers as well. He's not old at all, he's quite young actually. But the last time I saw him, he's on the Instagram Live at the moment, Prosper Kasim, who actually was with me at the World Cup Under-20s in Ghana. And actually, one thing I wanted to ask you, and seeing that you're on Instagram Live, I want to put you on the spot. What was it like being coached by Solskjaer? Because the last time I saw you out here playing with him, I want to know that because I want to see the behind-the-scenes scoop on that. So yeah, Prosper, I'll put you on the spot now live on radio, so you got to give me an answer. All right, so for everyone else who's been sending in questions, ladies, what are the age groups for the league you have currently now?
So at the minute we have under 15s and women's.
Is there a chance to get something younger in the pipeline?
Yeah, absolutely. We need to obviously talk with the Sports Council, who we're working with at the minute, to try and come up with some creative initiatives that will enable us to make sure that the girls and parents are safe. But that is something that we're trying to do sooner rather than later.
Must be nice to have the Sports Council behind you, supporting you, doing things the proper way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. I love that. How long is the season?
So the season is 11 weeks for the women's and five weeks for the under 15s.
Right.
And just going back to what Jodie said, we'd love to have under 13s, under 11s, under 9s.
That'd be great.
Come in as soon as COVID, gets out of the way. That is something that we're desperate to, because we know there's so many girls at that level.
And SJ, you've played obviously from a young age. But when it comes down to grassroots, how important is that for the AWFL?
Oh, my word, it's the most important. I think playing football is the reason that I became a teacher. It gave me that access to high-level sport and that discipline and that motivation. And I think if we don't provide that regular high-level competition, there's so many girls that won't go into the sporting industry, and that's not necessarily into teaching and coaching. That's the wider world of sport, like technology, radio, and everything else.
Those radio people. Maria, can we expect a season 2?
Absolutely.
In the pipeline?
Yeah, sorry, you didn't even get to finish your question. Absolutely.
Does that all the time. Cuts me off all the time.
No, definitely. I mean, it's already in the works. Already in the works. Already, it's going to happen.
Great.
Yeah,
Great.
January,
yeah?
Better weather.
Oh, that'd be lovely. God, I'll be jealous. Okay, ladies, when it comes down to following you guys, I want to make sure all the half-timers, everyone on radio, on YouTube, on the Pulse 95 radio can follow you. Where can we follow you on social media?
So, social media, we're AWF League on Instagram and Facebook. So just like our page on Facebook and see us on Instagram. And we're quite active, so you'll be getting highlights of the league games, so Tuesday and Wednesday. And we're even working with a couple of younger girls who are the photographers and the videographers for the league. So they're going to be posting a really cool video every week as well.
Nice. I like the way you've integrated that.
Absolutely. Internships. And
we
these
love
girls
that.
are great.
Okay, and so I've got a question actually here. What how am I going to put this right? What can we expect in season 2 that you've picked up from season 1?
So, I mean, the feedback that we've had so far from season 1, and we're only 2 weeks in, has been very positive. I think everyone was it happened at the right time. Everyone needed to get back. Everybody wanted to be back competing. I think for season 2, because now we would have a better understanding of the different ranges within the teams that we have. And then potentially looking at, similar to a premiership and a championship, where you have everyone play each other twice, bottom 2 go down to a championship, top 2 get promoted. So again, it's stuff that's it's in the works. We're talking about it, but the most important part is we just want to continue to provide that consistent, stable, safe and competitive competition for the young girls and the women.
Excellent. And do any of us here in the room have something important coming up on the pipeline?
Anybody?
All eyes on me. No, so I will be leaving on Saturday to join the national camp for football for my country. Thank you.
There we go. Quick round of applause for her there. We wish you all the best, Maria, Jodie, and SJ. Thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been great having you here.
Thanks for having us.
It's my pleasure. And guys, remember, if you are tuning in now and you've missed this great show, you can always catch us on the podcast, Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, or even if you prefer a visual and want to see the ladies, you can see them on YouTube on Pulse 95 Radio. We are there. The shows will be uploaded by Mario and Gabby from the Pulse 95 team. That's me, guys. It is full time. There's the whistle, and we will be calling it a day today. But remember, you can catch me back here on Saturday, 3 to 4, on the only place to be at 3, the halftime show on Pulse 95. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
If you liked this episode of The Halftime Show, drop a like and subscribe.
95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.